All right, so I was really intrigued on what smaller departments like the Cheviot department does for firefighter safety and cancer prevention.
Okay, so we started a few years back when it kind of went through the IFL,
Mm-hmm.
which is the union
Yeah.
basically really pushed hard for it. We started carrying the buckets with solutions to clean the gear on the scene.
Okay.
That way you could get a lot of the contaminants off
Mm-hmm.
immediately. And that way it's less contaminated. Then you would kind of bag it up, bring it back to the firehouse, put it in the extractor that we've had for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would actually rewash it at that point. Years ago, we would have we'd have a regular wash machine when people would do their bed linens in the same one.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot smarter over the years.
Okay. And having just a separate.
Right, and they also run a cycle between after you do it, and just in case they were to wash something else in that extractor, they would run like a Clorox or something through that.
To clean the machine.
The machine itself.
Okay.
Because that can be contaminated as well.
Yeah.
We also carry the wipes. They got a commercial wipe out on the market. You can wipe your skin off when you're done.
Okay.
That doesn't seem to be followed near as much as, the other precautions that we do take.
Yeah.
We've sent at least one guy through all the training, and he brings it back to us.
Okay.
But there's still quite a bit of, with a smaller department, we obviously don't have the money a larger department does. Plus, we're super busy. We're 1.2 square miles, and this year we're set to do over 2,400 runs.
Oh my God. Wow.
So we're super busy.
Yeah.
We were fortunate as far as, another safety aspect was that we actually put a third full-timer on each shift, and then we now also have a fourth person as a part-timer.
Okay. Help with the busyness a little bit.
Right, so it cuts down on a lot of that fatigue and the stuff that, plays into the firefighter cancers and stuff like that. Really, other than that, pretty much the west side departments all kind of do the same thing because we all run together as one big department.
Mm-hmm.
So you may have Green, Delhi, and we all do the same thing on the scene as far as scrubbing down the gear, packaging it up, and bring it back.
Because you all help where needed with
Correct.
I forget what it's called, but
The mutual aid.
Mutual aid,
It's
yes.
automatic dispatch or whatever.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, unlike some of the larger departments, most of our guys only have one set of gear that fits them properly.
Okay.
So we have spare sets, but they're not really
Fitted.
adequate for that person.
yeah.
So you may have the one size fits all. You got a smaller guy wearing a big coat while his stuff's being washed. So there is a hindrance there as well.
Which it doesn't protect them quite as well, but it does get the job done as best as you can with only having one turnout gear per person.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so the other obstacle in a small department is, we'll say before I became chief, we had a grant for fire gear. So we ended up getting 35 sets of gear.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have 40 people on it.
Okay.
So we had 35 brand new sets of gear, and it all expired. They got a 10-year shelf life.
Mm-hmm.
So in 10 years, it all expires. So at a small department, now I'm going to go back to this council and ask for hundreds of thousands of dollars
To get a whole new
to
set.
replace that.
Yeah.
So that's another hindrance that we have. They do take precautions, even with cleaning the bottles, as we've done since I've been in the fire service, 34 years now.
Yeah.
That they do clean the bottle and the straps and everything that goes with it, all the apparatus that goes on it.
Yeah.
The mask we've been cleaning for years. We make sure on fire scenes that they wear at least some sort of breathing protection while they're doing overhaul, which
Okay.
is another really bad one.
Yeah.
And I know we did a training out at Coleraine a number of years ago. Well, after every fire run, I've always had headaches and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the bottle putting the pressure on your neck? Is it this carbon dioxide you're breathing in? Because you're getting smoke no matter what you do.
No matter what you do.
And then they actually did a test in the level of cyanide on the gear itself on the outside was actually enough to kill you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's because of the plastics and all the things that are in the
those
things that we
burn
have these
release.
days.
Yeah.
So they Rescue Ron, as they call him out there, did that, and actually the cyanide level was huge. So then you really start factoring in, in the old days, you were cool if you had dirty gear and your helmet
And
was
your helmet
burned
was
up.
dirty.
As you can see, and that was a newer helmet, and I still got it cooked a little bit, but it's clean.
Yeah.
But in the old days, you know,
You don't. It's a sense of pride. You don't clean that off.
absolutely,
Yeah.
you were cool when the next shift came in and it smelled like smoke. You wanted them to know it that you
Yeah.
had a fire the night before. But as the times have changed, and you know, as the older guys start noticing people that they worked with, they come down with all these strange cancers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been pushing more towards that initiative.
Okay.
So,
Do you have any like a required yearly physical to make sure they're maintaining their health and looking for
so
cancer?
as far as that, I would love to start something like that, but I can tell you this is so. A hindrance to that was our union.
Mm-hmm.
So years ago, our union came to our city and said, "We want to do yearly physicals,"
Mm-hmm.
and their reply was, you have health insurance and it pays for your physical. So they do get yearly physicals, but not required to give that to us.
Okay.
Because they're paying the copay out of pocket or whatever
Yeah.
it may be. So that's kind of a hindrance also for us.
Mm-hmm.
You can require that, but you know, for one physical, I know when I send a new guy, it's $250
Yeah.
per man.
Yeah. They get expensive. So because you give health insurance, there is the option for the physical, but you can't really require it
Correct.
because they would have to pay for it, and the union doesn't want them doing that.
Well, the union wanted it. They were the ones that back when I was in, we wanted it.
Okay.
The city. And
So
they
they-
still hold to that. We have, because I've obviously taken it up above powers that be,
Yeah.
and that's what they're telling me is basically, they got health insurance, let them use it.
Okay.
And then, but since I've been in the fire service, everybody's been responsible enough that we go yearly for physicals.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Correct.
That's good. Do you know roughly how many cases have happened in the department?
Well, as far as I've known, before I've started here, back before they used the breathing apparatus and such,
Yeah.
we had a couple of guys that died of lung cancer
Yeah.
in their 50s.
Okay. Pretty early.
So
breathing and all that
that's,
stuff.
yeah, so since then, the old fire chief died of some strange cancer. He was on a tire fire. He still he believed this before he passed. He was on a big tire fire. They all got sick and they went to the hospital and they had to spend some time in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all those guys have passed.
Okay.
So the newer guys, they're a lot more, even when I was on shift, I thought I was cool because I would take my PBI hood and put it over my, well, it would be pitch black from the smoke that I'm sucking in.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really sucking. But the other guys didn't have anything on.
Oh, okay.
Right? So
yeah.
I thought, look how cool I am. And then later they found that the PBI actually can cause cancer.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I'm trying to save it one way and then but we've
not
really
like
evolved in the fire service
Yeah.
as far as the health and safety of our guys.
That's very interesting. Are there any other obstacles between the union and the city that are stopping any forward progression, or is it all just money with being a smaller department?
The money with being a smaller department's the biggest part because we work really well with the union when we need something to pass, especially when it's health related. You know, we supply all the immunizations and everything they would need as far as that goes. We don't require a fitness thing, but 90% of the guys will go out there and work out every shift. And you know, the onus is on you to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Right, even to wear your mask properly and make sure it's fitted. We do make sure they fit the mask because people, their facial structure changes when they gain and lose weight.
Yeah.
Stuff and such.
I think that's really interesting because you guys leave it a lot of the responsibility to them, and if they really care about their bodies and continuing to have their job, then they do everything they can to prevent that for themselves. That's
Right.
really cool.
And we do require, certain trainings. We have the 24/7. They get online and you can do some kind of health and safety thing. It'll make them think more safety related.
Yeah.
Really, the officers push it more because they're with the guys on a daily basis.
Yeah. They're seeing that.
Right. I mean, that's, we require people to be responsible.
Yeah.
It's the same as checking their air bottle in the beginning of the shift because it's for them.
Yeah.
So.
That's very interesting. I just thought it would be really cool to hear your side of how things are going with it being a smaller department, because I've heard from plenty of big departments and I they're talking about all these big changes left and right, and I'm like, well, what about smaller ones? What are they doing? Because I know they can't be doing quite as much because I know there's obstacles, but there has to be something. You know, we
Yeah.
can't just stay the same.
Right.
It's really cool to hear from
And there are certain grants that we're able to obtain to
Mhm.
help with these initiatives and such.
you. Yeah.
But it's, again, you know, you're with a small number of full-time guys. So
Mhm.
Cheviot, we have 40-something employees, but only 11 full-time guys.
Okay.
So that in itself can be a hindrance, you know what I mean, to try to get everybody on board.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, just because of the training, even in the schools, the kids that come out of the academies and stuff now,
Mhm.
they have that type of training, which is essential.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very big and very important that they go over that in class.
Yeah. It is. They make sure to reinforce it to take care of yourself and to be smart out there. So.
Right, and there's certainly programs out there. I know they got a great one in Hamilton County. We were just at a meeting about a month ago. It's really, really good to go to for people. And then we bring that information back. We kind of disseminate the information, then we also hang up the brochures and such so
Yeah.
people are aware of it.